first started this song. All the fellas, Tim, Raphael, who me? I'm Dwayne. And I'm an Aquarius. You see, we were over in Trinidad, Tobago for a while. We met a few friends, had a good time, you know. But while we were there, we experienced something called slow wine. No, it's not a drink enough. Pay attention. Let me explain.
Say, lady, you know the one thing that we're missing. Please, girl, pay attention. You see, I'd rather show than tell. Now you gotta lift up my emotions, but slow plus a four-letter word is the one thing on my mind. So fine. If I can wind you in my arms, so right. So fine. Yeah, just let your body flow. The notion that you wanna, oh what a beautiful thought. Slow wine by candlelight, it would be nice. Try to imagine a fun we'd have. Girl, you'll be the roller coaster, and I like to take a ride. It would be so right, so fine, if I could wind you in my arms. Body, keep it close to me. Honey, keep it nice and slow. You gotta use your body. Hey, baby. Slow at the four-letter word is the one thing on my mind, and it all should come so natural that a child could learn to flow. No, I'm not talking sex. But for now, just flex. Cause I finally build up the nerves to just slow wine with you would be so right, so fine. So it could be so nice. You gotta use your body. If you could use your body, could you keep it close to me? Nothing wrong, you and I, slow wine.
All right. Hello. This is High Priestess Jamila. Happy Saturday to y'all. Let me take these headphones off. All right. Obviously, I got like better things to do. And Spirit kind of didn't want me to do this show. They kind of went back and forth as to why, whether or not a show, this live stream. But we got time for a little bit of community outreach today. So I thought I would come on here and speak about this just for a little while. Because I know that there's young kids on this website. There's like very young and impressionable people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell y'all something. I am almost a half a century old, even though I don't look like it. Baby, I look good, baby. But, and I feel good too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the type of person that is going to have information and not share it with the youth. I ain't the type, just because I'm almost a half a century old, it doesn't mean I'm bitter. It doesn't mean that I'm like, well, I went through it. What's up, Stefan? Hi, happy Saturday. I'm not going to be one of them kind of people because that's a mistake. If you are an older person that has made mistakes that you can look back and say, you know what? I can teach somebody in the future to not make the same mistakes that I made. You know what I'm saying? Some people ain't like that. Some people ain't like that. Some people are just like, I don't care. I went through it, so let them go through it too. And I'm just not that type of person. I'm good people. Okay. But so what we're gonna talk about for just a few minutes today is being very careful of your quote unquote freaky friends. And just to pop on real quick, can y'all hear me? Hi, hey, 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 hello. Let me make sure y'all been able to hear me. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so let me do a sound check real quick. And, because Leah, let me see here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, y'all can hear me. All right. And let me go ahead and put my Google Voice number on Do Not Disturb also. Hold on a second because that seems to be important these days. So I want y'all to be careful with your freaky, slutty friends. Be careful with them. Okay. Seriously, be careful with them. And because you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Uh, and this is some, wow, there's a lot of people who, when it comes to fixing your life, especially fixing your love life, it can end up costing some people thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And so that's something that has to be done. I think in some cases it really, really depends on your destiny, right? It really does. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Your love life and you are worth it. Your heart is worth it. And while a lot of people don't realize that that is the truth, it's best to not do it and avoid it, right? But if you've already made the mistake of falling for the okey doke, then that's when it may end up costing you thousands of dollars, because your freaky friends might just be filled with entities. They can have entity attachments. They can have associations that are not good. And it's not cute. It's not. I'm going to tell you something, especially when it comes to love and sex, it is worth it. It's worth it in many, many, many different ways. It's worth understanding and having the correct information. It's worth it. The love of your life, your peace, your life is worth it, knowing the truth. So, freaky friends, right? This can include, this is for men and women. Like men too, because I hear men, like I've heard males that have been kind of suspect. They've been sus. Okay. Speak about they freaky friends that will talk them in to, taking turns on a female and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or either you got a freaky female friend, if you're a girl, you got a freaky female friend that, likes to get gang banged and all that stuff. Things of that nature. Stay away from that. Gear away from that. Like take a like once you realize that you're going down that road with somebody, make a U-turn and go back the other way and find another path. Now, if you just a person that's just like, I'm a freak to leak and that's just who I am and I don't give a fuck, this conversation ain't for you. But if you are somebody that wants to experience real love, because getting gang banged and having sex with a lot of people, that's not love. In fact, people that are doing things like that are experiencing and go through a lot of hate, a lot of turmoil, and it's just not the life that you want. It really isn't. While there's people that get sucked into that lifestyle and they become possessed by that lifestyle, it's not something that you want to be involved with, okay? And really, to be honest with you, what you should do is that if you got a freaky friend that you don't want nothing to do with, and you like, wait a minute, you like, whoa, 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 whoa. I done seen this slut take down way too many men. I done seen this person sleep around way too much. I know that hell, I like that show on HBO, Sex in the City too. Remember that show? I mean, they was getting bodies in that show, as they call it, getting bodies. And but it's still, when you really take a good look at it, that's not the lifestyle that you want. When you think about it, TV shows like that was really harmful. We didn't even see it back then. But when you think about how, just the whole thing, and I do think that those shows was trying to teach us a lesson, especially with some of the characters in it. You know what I'm saying? Because all of them were looking for love at the end of the day. All of them. And so, but let me tell you something. When you're ready to walk away from that freaky friend, sometimes you have to be careful. And I would be careful all the time. Like, I wouldn't even take a chance with it. When you finally say, you know what, because we're all supposed to have unconditional love for people, right? That's beautiful. Unconditional love is beautiful. That's what people expect, especially people that are very flawed. They like very, very flawed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, there's a lot of people that have a lot of flaws and they end up getting more unconditional love than people that are not like that, that don't cause people a lot of pain and suffering. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? We reclaim an unconditional love for the good people, because we need that. We need that energy, especially with all this false judgment, lies, and deception. Okay. But but when you look at it, understand that that freaky friend can, and in most cases will, try to destroy your future. Don't listen to the naysayers that say, oh, well, you've had children and don't nobody want you anyway. That's a part of the programming. If you notice, it comes with an entire bullshit lie in a program that tells you that, well, if you have children, you can't have stability and security in your life anyway. What? Wait, what? Like, and it's the complete opposite. And it is a program so that people can steal from you, because the gods provide for all of us, right? And you got people that like to steal. They ain't got no honor. So they will steal food out of your children's mouths, right? And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And this particular behavior starts at the bottom and goes all the way up the universal ladder. Okay? Seriously. I'm not going to get into that right now, because that would be a whole other complicated conversation that I'm not going to get into. Okay? But it's a whole program. And if you notice, they repeat these words because they're trying to program you. They're trying to program and create reality, right? Because they lost, and then it's like a cursed chain letter, some shit like that, right? But your freaky friends are not just freaky. They are probably more than likely possessed by an entity. And I'm not talking about somebody that likes sex. That's another thing we're doing. We're reclaiming sex. Sex does not belong to these bad people. Sex is meant for us to enjoy it with the person that we love. Whatever it is that you want to do in the bedroom with that person, as long as you're not harming anybody else or children or things of that nature, you good. That freaky friend is possessed, and more than likely is connected to sex demons. And I'm not trying to say that demons are all bad, because all of us have demons. All of us do. It's a part of us at the lower root and sacral chakras, right? But we have our own. We have our own. Okay. You don't want to be dealing with somebody else's, right? And while you may care about your freaky friends or whatever, you got to look at self and you got to say, how is this person going to affect me? Right now, the thing of it is that you got to be careful about is that it ain't just always about gang stalking and fucking social media, right? Because if you got freaky friends, they are in your community more than likely. They're in your community, and people depend on what that person says about you for information as far as is related to your identity, right? Which that's where discernment comes in. Okay, however, that's something that you can deal with, right? So it's not just about this person coming to social media and fucking with you. It's about this person in the community and what they're saying once you in the friendship. And see, I'm not the type of person that believes in holding on to people and well, what do they call that, Stefan, when you really don't fuck with somebody, but you keep them at arm's length. No, I believe in cutting a motherfucker off completely. Hey, it's time. Bye. Bye. The friendship is over. Bye. Bye. Okay. Well, why? It's the season of changes. Bye. 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 That's what I believe in. I don't believe in all that. No, if it's a person that you need to let the fuck go of, let that person the fuck go. Okay. However, I think that you should be prepared in advance. Now, somebody that's unmarried, even though for me, I've literally, like, I swear, okay, somebody that's having sex with hundreds of people per year or hundreds of people per month, clearly there's some shit going on there. Are we not in agreement with that? Like we can try to normalize that shit. And I'm not talking about just for women. I'm talking about for men too. If somebody is taking down sexually hundreds or thousands of people per year, there's clearly some shit going on there. Okay. That's some next level shit. So if you dealing with somebody like that, you got to let that person go, but you have to prepare yourself for it. You have to think in advance. You have to say, you know what? This person, the moment that I let them go, they're going to start lying. They're going to start plotting. They may even stalk me. May not even be in fucking social media. But social media has become the mecca and the pinpoint of how people stalk, because people stalk in social media because they know that they can affect you and afflict you in egregious ways. So you have to prepare yourself for that months in advance. Do it at least 6 months to a year in advance. Prepare yourself. Put all of the protection and bindings and things of that nature up prior to actually letting that person the fuck go. Because what's going to happen is that the moment you let that fucked up individual go, and I'm talking about their behavior, please stop judging people based upon their religion or their spiritual beliefs. That has nothing to do with who a person is. If you got a good person in your life that you know has good intentions, religion does not fucking matter. That's what's fucking up a lot of people. People assume that people that practice a certain religion, or people assume, even I made an assumption when I came into the spiritual community that all spiritual people was going to be evolved and this and that. And that was not the fucking truth. I got disappointed. I got disappointed to know that they were some of the most unevolved people. Not all of them, because I met some great and amazing people, but yeah, no, no, no. Okay, no, 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 no. Okay, so don't assume that that's just like there's a lot of people that may assume that I'm a fucked up individual just because I'm a witch. Well, you know what? Go ask God and use discernment, and don't base it based upon the Bible. You're supposed to seek God with your heart, right? So that's what I want to say. A fucked up individual to me is somebody that's doing things like that. I'm sorry. I don't want to be judgmental. I am not a judgmental person, but clearly there is a problem when you are having sex with too many people. There's too many. Okay. Whether or not you are a woman or a man, there's too many people for you to be having sex with. Something clearly is going on there. Now, I know that there's sex workers and things of that nature out there, and we love and we accept them. But everybody has to go ahead and admit that something is not right with that. Like when you look deep down into it, and you have to go deep, stop looking on the surface. You have to admit that for you to say, no, I prefer to be out there in the cold having sex with multiple people instead of working towards and trying to find or opening up the doorways for that one special person that is going to hold you and love you and keep you warm. There's no fucking way that you can say that you prefer that to the latter. You can't tell me that. Okay. Now, you may be, there's always exceptions to certain things. That's fine. But in that case, a majority is going to rule. And if you want to talk about religion and say, well, Jamila, you a witch. Being a witch doesn't automatically make me a fucking whore. Bullshit. And I hate it when I see people out there trying to compare witchcraft to fucking prostitution. That shit pisses me off. I will curse a person that does that shit. Don't even try. Don't even. Don't even. Because I remember back to the beginning of time, let's go all the way back when the witches was making all these damn trees grow to purify our air. Witches and shamans were doing that. So you can't tell me nothing about that. And most of the time, people, the entities that are being labeled as witches, they try to label themselves as witches are actually these evil entities and shit. They want to be a witch, but they're not. Witches have a history with this planet on this earth. We were there when the original seeds went down for the trees to grow from the beginning of time. And we watered the trees, we cultivated it. The shamans bought on the rain. We asked the gods, we were in communication with the gods to make it rain on the earth, to provide sustenance and nurturing for the seeds of this planet. So you can't just tell me, oh, well, witchcraft. No, don't. Please stop assuming that. That's the biggest mistake that people are making. And you know what? A majority of the world is suffering because of that. Because right now we have a huge problem, a huge problem. Children are being blown up right now because people refuse to because people are refusing to use the powers that be to deal with certain situations. Anywho, let's get back to the discussion, okay? Because that's more of a thing. Okay, so your freaky friends, they are a problem, and they know they are. And they don't need no friends. What they need is to go and sit in a dark room to themselves and think. They need to talk to God, whatever God that is. For me personally, if it's a Libra born child or a Taurus, they need to go talk to Venus, Aphrodite. If it's a Aries, they need to go talk to Aries or Vulcan. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I practice Hellenic polytheism with a belief in the Most High. Okay, the Most High above, the source of all life. Okay, that's just my spiritual beliefs. You believe what you want to believe, but at the end of the day, when you got a freaky friend, more than likely they trying to turn you out. First of all, they trying to turn you out. They want you to be like them, but you're not like them. You're not like them. And quite often what a freaky slutty ass whorish friend will do is what I've noticed that they do, because I have personal experience to this with this, is they will try to make you feel goofy are awkward because you covet love and monogamy. They'll try to make you feel awkward because that's what you want. You want it because it's a part of your destiny. That's why you want it. That's why you desire it. Because it's a part of who you are. What that freaky friend is trying to do is they're trying to set up all kinds of scenarios to send these people into your life. Sometimes that's why I said don't ever, 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 ever let a freaky ass friend set you up on a date. The hell? Don't y'all ever do that. Girl, let me introduce you to somebody. No, bis. No. I'm not letting you set me up with somebody. Think about it. It's a setup. That's why they're trying to set you up so that you can, that person can fool you. And then the next thing this is happening over and over again. And it's a repeated cycle. And then next thing you know, you program to feel like men or women are all no good and they're just sluts and they fucked up. And then it becomes a part of your reality because that's what you've experienced. But you've experienced it artificially. An artificial experience with a past lover is not somebody that the gods have brought to you. The situation was not vetted or ordained by God at all. So that's why you went through all of that fucking humiliation, embarrassment, pain, and suffering. And then they was laughing at you behind your back because you're the type of person that wants love and you're very romantic and you want to be with one person. And they'll even try to make you feel guilty or goofy about it. And you just and they'll try to make you feel like you were goofy because you're like that. And that's for men and women. You should be proud of yourself that you're the type of person that covets love and monogamy. There's nothing wrong with that. Be proud of yourself. And stick with your guns. Don't let nobody change you. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for who you are, because the reason why you feel that way is because there is a person out there that matches you. Everything has been done to keep you from that person. Everything has been done to block it. Everything. That's just like what you want in your career, with your career goals. Everything that you want, you can have it, but people will make you feel like you can't. It's the same thing. A lot of people have found out the hard way. They done call HIV and things of that nature. It's horrible. Cancer. Cancer is sexually transmitted, we finding out these days. That's crazy. So you have to be careful with people like that. Even though you may care about them, you may feel bad for them. Whatever it is that led to that problem that they're experiencing is messed up. But then and you know what? All of your freaky friends that have went through things, sometimes they may have an epiphany and they may change for the better, and they're not up to all of that. But when they're up to all of that, and that is their goal in life, then you have to let it go. Otherwise, you're not going to have stability. I've always said that whoremongering and things of that nature always leads to instability. If it doesn't lead to instability financially, it can lead to instability in other ways. It's going to get you somehow. Somehow it's going to afflict you and affect you. Somehow. Okay? You can sit up here and argue that point and say, well, I want sexual freedom. Well, you don't really know what it is to not have sexual freedom. You have to take a walk with the ancestors, in particular, the African ancestors in this country that did not have sexual freedom. You know, back during slavery, think about it. The black slaves, they weren't allowed to fall in love. If you fell in love with somebody and it was real love, and master could pick up on that, it was real, but all the time. Some of the slave masters was good. You know, they would marry they slaves and stuff and let them get married and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But in most cases, if you was in love, yo, they put your ass to death. So you know, especially the United States has a history of things of that nature. So you can say, well, I want sexual freedom because in a sense of I want to fuck and suck whoever I want to, and it's like, but you know, when you come from that, you know, you got to take a walk with the ancestors and say, well, shit, they would fall in deep love. That's why we all love that movie called Sinners. You know, it just that movie just gave the energy. I'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? You know, them slaves would fall in love, and I hate to have to bring that up, but them slaves would fall in love, and sometimes they would you get put to death falling in love. It was some Romeo Juliet shit on a regular basis, and you just be in love, and all of the proper elements be there, the desire for that person, the love for that person, the tenderness that you feel for that person, it'll all be there, and it would get ruined. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so you know, sexual freedom can be different for different people, but you know, it's not freedom. What you find out is that if you want to go out and have sex with anybody that you want, and anybody, what you realize is that that's a trap. That's a trap. You don't really want that. Okay, and I'm not saying that I want to make new laws and stuff to where people are not able to do that, because then that would be taking it way too fucking far. But what I'm saying is that you have to govern yourself and say, hey, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, allow this kind of stuff to, you know, you know, y'all know what I'm saying. So that, you know, that's not freedom. That's actually bondage that you're putting yourself in. So your freaky friends are coming up with all kind of stuff, and I never forget I had one of them. And here's where I'm going to get into my personal experience with this shit that some of y'all have even fucking witnessed. Let's talk about it. This person, it turned into, I'm not actually your friend, but what I want to do is I want to involve you in my sexual fantasies, and I want to be able to come to you and request for you to do all kind of freaky nasty shit that goes against God and nature. I want to come to you and request of you to go and do disgusting shit, even with your family. So, you know, when this person suggested that we have a threesome with a blood relative of mine, this is when I was like, oh no, this has got to end. This friendship is over. What the hell are you talking about? I'm out. Now, that was what, close to 13, 14, 13, 13 years ago. That was 13 years ago, to be exact. And I should have well prepared for it. That's pretty deep when somebody that that that's pretty deep and dark when somebody is saying to you, I want to have a threesome with you and your relative. That's some heavy shit. That's some heavily loaded shit, ain't it? So when somebody or whatever it is, when somebody is coming at you like that, don't just go and say, "Up, I'm done. I'm walking away." No, prepare yourself. Prepare. Get prepared. Get prepared for it. Okay. Because even though that person may not come out in social media and do some egregious shit, they're going to do it around the community, and you be wondering what the hell is going on. People looking at you funny because this person done said something, because people get paranoid and think you're going to say something or you going to tell somebody. And so people want to jump and they want to save face. So that's why people typically that you walk away from will begin to talk around the community, and since a lot of people are into gossip, they'll listen and then they'll go tell somebody else, because a lot of people, they like to have something interesting to talk about, and then they'll go and tell somebody else, and somebody else will go and tell somebody else. Next thing you know, this conversation has went viral in your community, right? Next thing you know, and it's not good. So you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself. You do. Sorry. And so prepare yourself, right? I'm laughing at something else. This subject is not funny. I was kind of giggling about something else, and I'm not going to share. This is important, guys. Take preventative measures. Okay. And make sure you cover yourself. Because what I've been saying, here's and this is something that my gods and spirits and angels and daemons is working on. They are working it out, because this is something that fucking infuriates me to the point of no return. Is that what ended up happening is that freaky friend led me to a bunch of people with no standards. And now those people think that they can come to me and work out their deepest, darkest fantasies on me. They think anything goes. They think that they can say anything to me and about me, and that is something that, with a low undulating growl, is something that my spirits are gonna goddamn devour those people for. But most of y'all don't have those spirits because y'all done put them to rest. Y'all done laid them to sleep. Mm-mm. Let's wake them up. Let's wake them up. Come to thee. Come to thee right now. The fuck this. I'm not gonna have this bullshit. I'm not gonna have this bullshit. Stefan, you know what to do. Hold on. I'm not gonna have this bullshit. You cannot say whatever you want to say to me. This freaky friend bought all kinds of fucked up males, and they think that they can come online and say things about their penises in my mouth And what I do is I curse the fucking very day that those people were born. I curse those people because if it were not for that freaky friend, those people would not think that they could say that to me. That's what pisses me off. Don't say that to me. See, people when they are communicating to you, a lot of people say, "Well, it's just words. He's just saying something." See, some people just don't fucking. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, hey, I don't like. I don't like. Me no like. I don't like that shit. And the reason why they feel that they can say those things and do those things is because the freaky friend tried to set standards for me. And that is where the problem is going to be. And that is something that, well, you know what? To be honest with you, I ain't got to get all ugly and shit and been out of fucking shape about the shit. I can cuss about it. But as far as me getting ugly and bent out of shape, I'm not going to do that. See, I go to my spirit guides. I go to spirit and the gods. No, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I think let me try to think. Yeah, I've only had one super duper super freaky friend, and I didn't even realize that she was making fun of me behind my back. Ha ha ha. She all romantic and she like to she wanna be in love and da 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 da. And it's like you damn right, bitch, and I'm proud of it. Oh, she thinks she gonna have the fairy tale life, the perfect picture perfect life like they did. And will y'all ever see that movie Little Shop of Horrors? Yeah. Oh, she thinks she gonna do this. She thinks she gonna do. No, you know what? I know I am, and your freaky friend does not want you to have that. Your freaky friend does not want you to be happy because they're miserable. Your freaky friend don't want you to be in a loving relationship where, you are secure and safe. Your freaky friend does not want that. Where is Stefan at? Stefan, you supposed to be moderating. Where are you at? Okay. Where are you at? Yeah, because we're not talking about that right now. Let's stick to the subject. Okay. And see, here's the whole thing about it. That right there, that troll that just came in here, that's a part of the scenario and the focus that these people have tried to present in front of me. And so my social media is not about that. Go on somebody else's channel if you want to gossip about people. What we're talking about right now is not gossip. What we are talking about right now is something that is very important to people and is not only going to save your love life, but it's also going to save your heart. It's going to save you from heart attacks and strokes because those entities that'll be on that freaky ass friend is trying to stop your heart, trying to give you a sick heart. To those of you that are listening to me, the other people ain't going to listen. They're possessed. That troll account that just came in here, they are never going to be blessed enough to listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. It's too late for that person. Whoever is behind that account, it's too late for that person. That person is fully under possession. To those of you that I am speaking to that are listening to me, And you better take heed, because it ain't just your heart, it's your lungs, it's your brain, it's your kidneys, it's your throat. It's everything that functions inside of your body, because having sex with the wrong person can literally tear you down, mind, body, and spirit. Okay? All that other stuff is just a distraction and to distract you from the truth. You don't know who you are really. A lot of people don't. Now, I've noticed that people are getting younger and younger. I've noticed that these young folks out here in their 20s, when I was in my 20s, I looked at, when I look back at me in my 20s, I think I was stupid. I did things that were stupid, not giving birth to my children, but just other stuff that I didn't know. I was just very ignorant back then. Okay. So we need to educate, go buy a reading from somebody else. Okay. I don't want to do a reading for you. Okay. All right. A lot of us of my generation, we didn't wise up until we were probably in our early to mid 30s. Okay. It depends. Okay. Be careful with that shit. Even if that means that, now I'm going to tell you something. When you got friends like that you consider to be your friend, it's better to have no friends at all. Let God be your friend. Let spirit be your friend until you run into better choices of friends. Okay? And you need to be careful about who it is that you call a friend. Set high standards for yourself. Straight up and down. And that goes for men and women. A lot of these men, a lot of you men are making a mistake. A lot of you men that are friends with somebody. First of all men at this point, if you are sleeping around, you need to stop. Okay. The words from the wise high priestess Jamila, stop. Okay. But a lot of y'all have been influenced by your friends to think that sleeping around makes you a man and it makes you an alpha male, and you are making a mistake. So stop doing that. But many of y'all men are kind of like the type of people that don't sleep around, but you got friends that do that. Don't take it lightly. If you are a male that has a friend that sleeps around with every Sally slew and slower, you need to let his ass go. But you need to prepare yourself for letting him go, because he has a problem and he is going to bring that problem to you. Most of all, I'm going to tell y'all straight up and down, you got somebody like that as a friend, they are using you as a sponge any fucking way to cleanse them. You're like a cleanser for them. Okay. They're scapegoating onto you, right? They're putting all that bad shit into you, as much of it as they can. Okay. So whenever you get through, the rules stand the same for men. Y'all need to stop that shit. And I don't, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of y'all men, yeah, y'all like, well, Jamila, you can't tell me how to be a man. Why not? I'm a woman. I created your asses. When the original woman created men. You came out of a woman, not another man. Okay? You came out of a woman. So yes, I can. Yes, I can tell you how to be a man. And I'm telling you right now that if you are sleeping around with a bunch of people, you have a problem and you need to get help for that problem. However, if you're the type of man that doesn't do that, right? You're not like that, because there's a lot of men that don't sleep around. A lot of them. but you got a freaky friend that does it, walk away from that person. But don't just walk away. Prepare yourself in advance to walk away. And see, men have more issues than what y'all are aware of. There's a lot of dangers out there when it comes to men, but women too. And I'm not going to get into that. We're going to talk about that from a separate live, some information that Spirit does want me to share with y'all. As far as protecting yourself from sexual entities that are bringing destruction into your life is very different than a cursed individual that may come in with some complication. Hell, we all cursed, you know what I'm saying? We all got a certain level of stuff on us sometimes, you know what I'm saying, if you want to think about that. But these entities that are in disguise, my spirits do want me to come and speak to you guys about that. Okay, and so we'll talk about that from a separate live. Okay. um y'all need to realize the problem. As someone that has experienced that type of invasion in my life, I can promise you that most of y'all won't survive it the way that I did. Because only because I am a shamanic healing witch is the reason why I was even able to survive it. Because my intuition was on fleek. I knew that I had to have various herbs and stones to protect me and my loved ones. I knew that. And those herbs and stones did protect us, because there was times when my heart would just be panicky. And see, I'm so sensitive to herbs that I can just have a little container of valerian root and it just keeps my heart grounded all the time. It does. Like, but in certain cases, because I fight quite a bit of spiritual battles and spiritual wars where I'm battling people in large numbers. And so something stronger obviously is going to be used, other than just that, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like certain things that I need to sometimes even take internally, you know what I'm saying? And my spirit guides will tell me, especially when I'm dealing with spiritual. Now if I'm in a situation, because there's sometimes, guys, where I stay up until 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. When I'm doing that, I'm protecting my loved ones. Okay, so I'm watching over people as they sleep. Sometimes that's necessary for me to do that. A lot of people will try to look at me like I'm a foreign object because I stay up all night sometimes, but that is for their protection. Okay. But that'll be few and far between, because my spirits are already developing something to where they've already done it to where I don't have to do that. But until then, as an emergency basis, that's what, and then it may even be nights where I have to do that still, because people don't know the evil out there that exists in this world. They don't know how deep it goes, right? Um, but there are some times when I do have to, like valerian tea, I'll have to take valerian tea internally. Okay, because and that is like one of the ingredients of my healing potions that I do. Obviously you don't want to use valerian root in the bathtub because valerian root smells like ass, but you can definitely drink it in a tea. For me, just having it, sit next to me is enough. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know. So yeah, devise a plan. That's just like if you're leaving an abusive husband or abusive wife. You have to devise a plan in advance. You don't just cut people off like that, because you never know what the backlash is going to be. and you have to plan in advance. This is a part of planning your future. Because a lot of the times, people that are like that, they already have a plan of action that they're going to take if you walk away from them. And you have to somehow prepare yourself depending on the situation that you're in. Sometimes it may be an emergency. You can do something little and small to prepare yourself, even if it's the smallest thing. Then that way you have to work with quantum energy. Okay, but quantum is good because you know what quantum physics is, right? It's based upon something very small having a huge effect on situations, places, people, and things. That's what quantum means, right? At the end of the day, is when you're doing a little something, little is being done to handle something on a broader spectrum, something larger, okay? So basically, even if you start off with very small things that you do, but since it is a part of a larger problem, then it is advisable to do the bigger things that are needed. Okay. Which, for example, would be if you were to hire me as a witch, as your healer, more than likely, I'm not, I'm going to be out in nature as a part of your ritual work that I do for you. And that's huge. Whenever you step outside, you are stepping out into the world and you are automatically connected to earth. When you walk outside of your house, especially if you're in a forest or you're in a remote area that is surrounded by a bunch of nature. But just going outside is enough in your backyard or your front yard. That's the world. Even though you're not walking around the whole world, you're still out in the world when you step outside. So that's not quantum. The work that we do on the inside can be considered quantum, but when you're on the outside, that's a lot bigger. Okay, even though you can go outside and do quantum too, that's even better. But y'all know what I'm saying. But so y'all have to understand that there are a lot of broken people in this world that are hurting. And you don't want to be one of those people. And you don't have to be. There are people that are so broken that they have lost hope and lost touch, and they don't see anything good happening for them. They cannot see the good in this world because they are so broken and lost. And you do not want to ever allow people, because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. When it's all said and done, when it all boils down to it, this person has an agenda against you. Did you allow that agenda to play out? Yes or no? Yes, you did. Well, then at the end of the day, it's your fault. Well, it was a bunch of people, it was a bunch of them. It's still your fault. That is the only accountability that you should be focused on, is the fact that you allowed it and you let it go down and you rejected the wisdom, you rejected it. And at the end of the day, how'd you go out? You went out making excuses. You went out bowing down, right? You went out blaming somebody else, because as long as you're fighting, you're good. Okay? As long as you are making those moves, you're good. He's silly. So that's all I'm saying to y'all. Okay. I done seen so many people, get affected by bad freaky friends, whether or not hell that freaky friend could be your mama, could be your daddy. Next thing you know, it's all a part of your reality, and that's the people that you attract in your life. All these men ain't no good, and this world is fucked up. And that's what you allow to be your reality. Whose fault is it but yours? While you look at other people and you like, they not really happy. It's a lot of people in this world that are very happy. They not really happy. They pretending. Well, what makes you think that? Is it because they bothering you? No, I can just tell they fake. That's not real. That's not real because it's because I went through this and I went through that. And the next thing you know, you and your buddy and shit, you and your bestie is fucking driving off a goddamn cliff in like Thelma and Louise and shit with your stupid ass. Quit being stupid. Okay, I say that with love. I say that with love. I do. I'm sorry if that was a bit harsh. Like, hey, she just called me stupid. No, I didn't mean it that way. But there are times when people are being stupid. I can honestly admit when I've been stupid. I've done stupid shit that I shouldn't have did. Not that much though. Not that much because my spirits don't play that shit. They don't play that they don't play about me. They don't play those games about me. Okay? Yeah, I say that with love. I don't, because but a lot of y'all will be stupid. A lot of y'all allow somebody else to create your reality for you, and you got to stop doing that. And then you got people that are claiming to be high priestesses, but they don't know how to take responsibility. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, influence and possession is a very, very, very real thing. Okay. So, I'm just saying, just know that and you'll be okay because the next thing you know, you'll be running around here a walking empty shell. That's not what you want, hun. That's not what you want. And then you'll be blaming somebody else. You'll be running around here talking about, well, this world is messed up anyway. We all sinners. It's going to end. The end is coming near. And people be like, what? People be like, what? What? For real? Don't ever be like that. Okay? And romantic love does not always equal struggle. Okay, it don't always equal struggle. Sometimes it does. Some of y'all might have found y'all twin flame and he's struggling financially and all that stuff. But a lot of times, you gonna find your match. They, typically they gonna have some kind of stability, security, and you are too. That's a whole other another that I'm not going to discuss with this one because I'm about to get out of here. I didn't mean to be here that long. But y'all know what I'm trying to say, because you know that's what they will try to be. Because did y'all know that all that freaky shit, that horism and shit, do y'all know that that's actually the energies of poverty? That's actually very impoverished energy too. That's not royalty. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, and I understand that the things that I talked about, there probably have been families that have built upon that, but not everybody. Not everybody. Not most people. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of what I want to say to close this out. Oh, I could take this anywhere that I want to close this out. But what I will say is that you have got to create a spiritual system, and you've got to get in on that to where you know, and it is sad as it sounds, it's really, really sad when you look at people that are unfortunately sacrifices for certain entities, you know, and I wouldn't give a damn. For me, I'm like, well, this is about my life. This is about the people that I love, their lives. I can't be concerned about other people and running around here trying to save other people, because, you know, that should have been something that they mama did, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist and you're dealing with gang stalking. You know, narcissistic gang stalking, all of those people that are narcissistically gang stalking you are slated for destruction. They are. They're puppets, but they can still be dangerous. It's not to say they can't be dangerous and they can't do you bad harm, but they're still puppets. They sacrifices. That's why you have to be smart about the situation. You can't go on no killing spree and shit, because a lot of people, they'll go on a killing spree. this, don't do that. You don't have to do that. Do witchcraft instead. I don't understand people that say witchcraft is evil, but yet when situations like that arise and you praying to Jesus, and Jesus don't help everybody. I can honestly say that Jesus, I've seen Jesus bless a lot of people, but Jesus don't be helping everybody. And sometimes Jesus be like, "Hey, I was there for a season, but I'm out now. You got this? Okay, so I'm gonna go." But you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to trigger anybody, because I don't want to do that or disrespect anybody's beliefs. But you know, you have to come up with with a spiritual system to make sure that that does not harm you. You know, unless you just ready to give up your life. I know that me personally, you know, you see all this crazy stuff that goes on, you know, and you just be, and people just be like, I don't want to be here anymore. It's like, well, uh, okay, not none of my people, but I've seen people do that. I've seen people feel that way, to where like they'll let the evils of the world get them down to the point where they don't want to be here anymore. That's your business. That apparently that must be the reality that you live in. I personally don't live in that reality, to where somebody that to me is lesser than me, or a lesser God force than me, can cause me to give up my life. But you know, that's because I'm heavily connected to the sun. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When you have a strong, strong connection to the sun and the moon, you understand that. So when the sun rises, the sun is communicating certain things to you. Okay. What the sun communicates to me is that I want you to be happy and joyful and at peace with longevity under the sun. Happy. That's what the sun says to me every morning when it rises. There are some people that are not experiencing that. Maybe it's because their third eye is blocked and clogged up with a bunch of bullshit. Who knows? That's what my third eye is connected to. And people will try to put a bunch of shit in your subconscious, which is connected to the Bindu chakra, which wraps around to the back of the head. Not the base of the head and the neck, but the back of your head is where the Bindu chakra is located. Speaking of which, I gotta go, guys, because that's one of the things that I need to do today. I need to make my I need to make some shower sprays. So I gotta go, guys. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful day. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. I hope that y'all were able to take away from this conversation what you were supposed to. And listen, I know that there's some people on here that try to pretend that they are a dark shadow, right? So they'll try to come and talk shit to debunk what I'm saying. Don't listen to those people. This conversation was meant to enlighten you and bliss you. Do not let other people that come on here and say, bitch, fuck, hell, shit, bag, shit, piss, pick, blah. Don't let them ruin this very valuable conversation that I have just had with you. Do you understand me? Because they probably will try, right? And even though throughout the years I've said nothing but giving very good advice and good energy to people, they'll try to tell you not to listen to me. they'll say, don't listen to her, even though she's giving you good information. don't let that ruin it for you. Take this conversation, let it be your enlightenment, and let it help you think and navigate through this. And yes, obviously, if you want a reading, you can come to me. I'm gonna be honest with you, I got plenty of clients. I'm accepting more, but I got plenty of clients. I'm not, and I don't necessarily have to come on here and say, hey, contact me. I will direct you to my website, but I don't have to do that because spirit does that automatically. So I don't necessarily have to ask for people to come to me. You know what I'm saying? But I think that this conversation is relevant and it's going to save a lot of people. It is. It's going to save you the trouble. Okay. And just because I haven't been through trouble like that, like, I'm going to tell you something. When you are in the presence of God and God loves you, no matter what your troubles are, the God just gives you that strength to the point where it may look like some shit look bad, but when God is literally wrapping you with his protection or her protection, you can go through those trials but God still wants me to prevent people from going through that because a lot of that kind of stuff is throwing off the balance. It is. You can tell that this world is horribly imbalanced, especially a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. So so for me, I'd rather prevent that from happening. That's my job. Even when it comes to my children, I'm a mother. You want to prevent your children from going through that. You don't want to say, oh, well, you know what? I went through this. So you got to go through this to learn. No, you don't. That's the whole fucking point of us being ushers and being parents and being teachers and guiders is so because who the hell would, why? What my lessons that I learned taught me how to deal with it. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of learning how to deal with it and having the wisdom to pass down generationally to your family and your loved ones is for you to prevent it. If everybody just going through that, which then what the fuck is the point? It would be no point. That's just like saying, hey, I'm a witch, but I go through this and that every day. But what the fuck is the point in you practicing witchcraft then? Hit it with like a hammer on a nail head and get it done. Get it through, get it done. And I'm not talking about destroying me. Like people be like, yeah, I'm gonna get it done. No, you're not. But I'm talking about what you need to do for yourself. Quit being afraid of that. I don't understand that. This limited thinking. I don't get it. But anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see y'all later. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up too, because the right now, a great majority of my viewers now are programmed to hate the truth. Stop hating the truth. The truth is going to set you free. I know you've been programmed to hate the truth. I know you've been programmed to deny the truth, embrace the truth. It's going to set you free. It's going to heal you. Stop denying the truth and trying to rest on a lie. A lie is a lie, is a lie, is a lie, is a lie. You may be able to go back and change some things and how it afflicted you. I can go back. If your enemies did a ritual on you when you was born, I can go back to that ritual and fuck it up and change it. But you can't go back in time and change history. You can't. Not in that way. You like imagine going back and trying to change history to be something fucked up. That's going to mess up the balance today. So nobody's going to be allowed to do that. That's why God is going to keep pushing through. You can't go back in time and make something happen just for something to no, you fucking up. You fucking up. You can't change the history. Okay? And a lot of people are learning that lesson right now. You can claim it, you can say it, but at the end of the day, the truth is going to prevail and is going to be spoken. Exactly, Stefan. Lying ain't gonna get you nowhere. And but so many people have been lied to and they believe certain stuff, but at the end of the day, they're not gaining. They're not gaining. They don't have no real power. You know, I'm sorry. In comparison, when you're a person that's able to make some shit appear out of fucking nowhere versus somebody that is doing that, is it's like it pales in comparison. It really does. And then also, you're fucking with people. You're changing the dynamic of people. You're affecting a lot of different people on a negative level. And and I don't feel sorry for those people that are doing that. I don't feel sorry for them at all. I'm just like the universe is sometimes. I represent. We all come from the cosmos. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the universe can be very cold. So that aspect is always going to be in me. You did some shit, you tried some shit that you shouldn't have done, and when you suffer because of it, I'm not going to give a damn. Now if other innocent people are suffering, which would be my family, my loved ones, my clients, then that's when I'm gonna have a fucking problem. But a person that is facilitating and ushering in that kind of bullshit, when you go through what you go through, I'm not going to give a damn. My love and attention and attentiveness is focused on the innocents that are being affected by your corruption. Period. At the end of the day, at the end of the day. Okay. And I'm going to stay the path when it comes to that. All right, guys. I got to go. Y'all have a good one. Bye.